Hope everyone had a great day. Yes? Any complaints? No? Cape Town Power, maybe? So, in putting together the list of keynote speakers for the user conference, we put together who we really wanted to come present, and we had this amazing list of leaders of large NGOs and heads of large departments, and we really felt like something was missing. Everything that we do in conservation technology, and I would perhaps argue conservation management, is ultimately in service of the men and women who are doing the really hard work on the ground and are the interface, the true actors of conservation. So I felt that we were really missing that voice. And it's important to us to include that. Without someone to speak to that and represent that, we are a little bit of an echo chamber. And so we looked around and thought, who can really represent the best of the women and men who are out on the front lines, really doing this incredibly difficult and dangerous work every day, who can speak to some of the challenges that they face and also some of the tribulations. And we learned about and met Neddy Mulimo, who has dedicated his life to conservation, working for the Zambia Department of National Parks and Wildlife as a ranger for over 30 years. He now works for Game Rangers International, leading operations and supporting the teams of rangers in the game management areas around Kafue National Park. And if you've been to Kafue, you know the complexities of that landscape and some of the challenges that they face. But last year he was very appropriately awarded the Tusk World Ranger of the Year Award for a lifetime of commitment to conservation and rangers. He's a constant advocate for better working conditions for rangers and knows that we can only achieve our shared goals if we support the men and women on the front lines of conservation. So please welcome me and giving a warm welcome to Neddy.
Good afternoon. At this time, I'd like to observe all protocols around from all walks of life and allow me stand in front of you as my Bwana here has said it. Really, I've spent most of my time looking after wildlife. Biblically, those who read the Bible, they will understand that when God created the world, He put in wildlife and hand over to the human to take care of wildlife, to use and not to finish. That is conservation. So proudly I am to do conservation because it is the biblical type of job that I was given by the Creator, who is our Father. Thank you very much. Having said so, I will not waste your time. Forgive me, my voice is not good. We'll go straight. On my paper here, there's a question of saying, what is a ranger? And who are they that they matter? And I know, when I look at everybody seated, I conclude to know that I'm not the only ranger here. You are all rangers. Immediately you have interest to conserve wildlife, regardless of the training, of not putting on uniform and a firearm. As long as that interest is there, you do donate resources to certain NGOs, it means you qualify to be a ranger. To us as GRI, we say, every man and woman with the interest and experience to save wildlife, we call that person as a ranger. And I address you as rangers, all of you. Yeah, having said so, sorry, my eyes are not good, but I'll read. What is a ranger, and who and why they matter? To me, this is somebody who every day puts their life on the line to protect wild species, who is an advocate to wildlife and the communities contiguous to protected areas. They leave their family at home and go out time and time again into to unknown onto a front line that is forever changing and evolving. To me, rangers are the backbone of conservation, without whom nothing would be possible. EarthRanger wouldn't exist without rangers. We would just have the earth and protect it. I'm proud to say I was, and still I am a ranger. I will always be a ranger, and I could like to share with you my experiences from the field and the changes in conservation that I've witnessed over the years. I've spent 3 years working with the National Parks and Wildlife Department, leading teams of rangers and implementing operations across Zambia. In 2013, I joined the Game Rangers International, an NGO who has a holistic approach to conservation through empowering rangers and local communities to conserve nature. I now oversee operations on the ground and provide support to patrol teams that once I used to lead. When I first joined the Department of Wildlife, early 1980s, the support to conservation in Zambia was sparse. Rangers would patrol without equipment, not even patrol rations provided, being forced to contribute food from their own homes, and would venture out into areas with no means of communication. No support. There was no way for a commander to know the state of their patrol team once deployed, whether they were injured or had even engaged in firefight with poachers. This limitation not only led teams to abandon patrols, but just as importantly, meant the welfare of entire patrol unit was at risk every time they went into the field. In 1991, during a patrol in Northern Gafue National Park, one of my patrol teams encountered a group of heavily armed poachers. During the exchange, the ranger was shot dead and one left seriously wounded due to a lack of adequate transport and reliable communication from the field, which came hours after the incidents. We lost 2 game rangers in a single patrol, with one of the deaths most certainly avoidable if the team had been able to report the incident immediately and request support. Situational awareness is vital in helping rangers do their job, but also But adequate support does not only mean equipment, transport, and communication. It also refers to training, high-level first aid to combat scenarios. Patrolling tactics and weapon training are all among the main areas that enable rangers to do their job well and build capacity within the conservation sector. I've witnessed how conservation has developed in Zambia. Across various landscapes, rangers started to be deployed and withdrawn by vehicles, allowing them to cover much larger areas as to scope and law enforcement widened. Patrol rations were regularly provided, and communications in remote areas started to improve. By early 2000, patrol teams were now able to communicate with the control room and their commanders, allowing the operational support and the patrol planning to occur. Within the last 10 years, the rate of technological type of improvement in Zambian conservation has dramatically increased. For law enforcement outputs to be monitored and flexibility in patrol planning, using historical patrol tracks to inform future development. But when EarthRanger was introduced, both real-time monitoring and communications were enabled by this innovative tool. The tools would have been saved the rangers I talked about, and this is why seeing this technology makes me very happy and gives me hope for the future. In GRI, we use EarthRanger in a variety of ways with interactive platform in our field headquarters control room. Operators and commanders can track our patrol teams in real time and send messages via InReach, resulting in constant, reliable communications. In 2021, a GRI-supported ranger on patrol in southern Kafue National Park was spat in the eyes by a black spitting cobra. The team immediately messaged for assistance, and the alert came through on the EarthRanger platform. The operators were able to see the team's exact location, and we were therefore able to decide which mode of transport would be quickest and most feasible. The ranger was withdrawn within 30 minutes of the incident and taken to the hospital, where he fully recovered and maintained his sight. Thank you to the technology implemented by EarthRanger and the responses it enables. Through various on-map layers of EarthRanger, We are also able to track our vehicle movements and those of collared animals from our collars, but also together with our partner organization. This is in particular relevant for mitigation on human-wildlife conflict. Our operators are able to identify when collared elephants and lions stray too close to the community and can request by deployment of a team to that area. This wasn't possible 5 years ago. It wasn't. We have implemented a geofence on our EarthRanger platform, which enables alerts to be automatically sent whenever one of the collars crosses the boundary from protected area towards the community. Such measures allow for proactive responses instead of reactive mitigation, enabling our teams to protect both human lives and that of wildlife. Technology allows us to be more strategic in use of our limited resources. It acts as a force multiplier to the commanders on the ground. The advances in technology used for conservation purposes are vast, from reporting to real-time monitoring, or aiding to improve operational effectivity and the ranger safety. But technology alone will not solve all the challenges faced by rangers in the field. There are two main challenges faced by rangers today across the world. In Zambia, for example, rangers are not recognized as security personnel like the police. Or receive less government support and compensation. Many are housed in one room with entire family, no power or running water, nothing. And despite their dedication to conservation and lifetime on working in the field to protect wild spaces, many continue to struggle supporting themselves and their families. As countries worldwide start to cope with the changing climate and biodiversity loss, the displacement of communities, these causes, and their subsequent encroachment into protected areas, it is rangers that governments around the world turn to. It is rangers being asked to increase their efforts to protect wildlife and wild spaces, and not ultimately put their lives on the line for conservation. We cannot expect to succeed with protection of our natural habitats without improving their working conditions. We need to prioritize the challenges they face, build capacity through training, providing the equipment, and improve living standards of rangers. The possibilities technology like EarthRanger holds for conservation are endless, but without supporting those on the ground to implement it, our capability will be forever limited. As I look back at my career and think about all the transformations that have been taken, I know the future is bright for conservation because there are many people here working together, working for a change. Thank you.
Thank you, Neddy, so much, not just for being here and for your words, which were deeply moving, but also for your lifetime of service to protecting what we all hold so dear. So thank you so much. And with that, I'll also pledge that my team and I will do everything that we can to always work towards protecting and helping rangers worldwide. So thank you. So that concludes the formal agenda for today. We are going to take a group photo. If everyone could please head to the, I don't know what to call it, the atrium, the area outside the bar with the multiple stories that allows for photographers to look down, sort of thing. That would be much appreciated, and we'll see you there shortly. Thank you.